something comes up. So we have creative, we also have procreation, which is also be fruitful and multiply. But right now, as of what we've been talking about so far, how many people are there in the world? There's one. There's Adam, the man. So this is a bit of a problem. How can he be fruitful and multiply? How can he bear out some of the creativity that God imbues him with if he doesn't have a mate? So we have the man, and God says, this is after God gives the instructions not to eat of the tree. But in Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, the Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone." So, not good to be alone. And when we really think about this, yeah, it's not. This is very observable. But there's a very striking understanding going on here. So, God has created all things. Is any of them bad? Or any of these things that God created inherently evil? No. God himself is good. If he's creating things, they are good and they're supposed to be designed for good purposes. That's what's going on. So something is not good, though. So does that mean there's an error in God's creation? Not exactly, no. It just means that God hasn't finished creating. But the other thing that we really need to understand in order to know like the full force of this statement, what is good? In general, how would you think of the word? God. Okay. Yeah.
Something beneficial to everybody.
Beneficial? Yes.
Universally beneficial.
Yeah, universally beneficial.
The
Yeah.
opposite of evil.
Opposite of evil, yes. So, if I were to say, in random order, greatest, good, great, how would you rank those?
In English, you think greatest is the most superlative of it.
Yes. In English, you would assume that.
It can't exist without good.
Yes. So sometimes when we try to think through things, we want to say you have good, like it's okay, it's good. Then you have great, and then you have greatest. So we try to think of, well, yeah, good is, like I'm a good person, maybe not the greatest guy, but I'm good. And that's typically how we try to phrase things. But as you rightly pointed out, that great depends on good. So these are actually different categories. Well, not exactly different categories, I guess. But they are different. So good determines what's going on there. So in ethics, when we're talking about what's going on in ethics, we're talking about the good. Goodness is that which is good. Like this is the highest thing that you could ever hope to try to attain. You're never looking for the greatest, you're looking for the good. And when you're as close to the good as you possibly can, that is the greatest thing. So the greatest thing would actually be the goodness without any imperfection or error. So good is always the highest. Now when God is creating all things, so like at the end of the different days, what is the thing that God says? He saw whatever it was he created, and it was good. Okay. And there's something else that occurs. And this is the last verse of Genesis chapter 1, so this is verse 31. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning the sixth day. Hebrew, mach tov. Tov is good. That's what it means. So mach tov, everything is very good. Everything within God's creation is the best it possibly can be. It's defined by its essence, so it is God-like because it's reflecting the goodness of God himself. So if God is saying there's something that's not good, there's something ungodly about the present state of affairs. So God isn't done yet. Yes. So it's not good for man to be alone. Now, for secular philosophers, a lot of them will just, or thinkers, or just people in general, they'll likely cite Aristotle rather than the Bible. And Aristotle, what he says is man, using kind of the overarching term, although the ancient Greeks were a bit more sexist than the ancient Hebrews, just saying. Anyways, but Aristotle would say man is a political animal. And what he's not saying is, like when you get into, I don't know, Canadian Parliament, that everybody's flinging their feces at each other and trying to do weird crap there. Anyways, no. When Aristotle is using the word political, polis is the city or the group. So he's saying man is a political animal in the sense that we are always searching to be part of a group, to come together, to be unified, to have some sort of communication and constellation with other human beings. Animal, though, he's using it in a far more generic sense, where he's just classifying anything that moves that has spirit as an animal. So animal is coming from anima or animus, the words for soul. So anything ensouled. So an ensouled being who is seeking community. That's usually what people go to. But yeah, for us Christians, we just point to right here in Genesis chapter 2 and say God himself is saying it's not good for man to be alone. This also is derived from, well, where did man come from? Where did we come from? What just happened in Genesis chapter 2?
Created.
Yes, we were created. We came from someone. Yes. So we are literally made to be in union with God. This is our design. We're not supposed to just sit over here and have no relationship with anybody ever, but we are designed to be in community first and foremost with God. And God is now saying it's not good, so an ungodly thing for man to be alone. So he's also saying that it is a divine purpose of human beings to have another human being. We are designed and purposed to live in communities and to help one another out. So I'll also ask you this. Did you think yourself into existence?
No.
Okay, so where did you come from?
God thought me into existence.
Well, yes, he did. But in a more fleshly sense. And a mommy and a daddy love each other very much.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So in that sense, we're very dependent on other human beings. We can't come into existence without other human beings.
By design, yes.
Yeah. So we are born into community at the very beginning. Even if the father is completely absent, which I hope he wouldn't be, you still need the mother to carry you and bring you into this world. Now, of course, people are trying to substitute technology for father and mother, However, which is very problematic. However, we could also still say, hey, even those test tube babies, they would still depend on the scientists who are managing those test tubes. They don't spontaneously come into existence. There's still a lot of thought and design and purpose that are being put into this.
And probably more than 2 people involved.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm forgetting. There's now up to 5 or 6 people who could be involved in the conception and birthing of the baby. Because there's the mitochondrial DNA as well as the nuclear DNA in your cells. So mitochondrial DNA can come from another woman. There could be 2 donors, one an egg, one a sperm to get the nuclear DNA, and then you can inject the mitochondrial DNA, so you have 3 there. This can be inserted into surrogates. So it's getting more and more complicated when God just designed it in a very specific way.